Okay. And we say good morning to you. Welcome. We're live. We get a Champion Chevrolet again on this Friday, ready to go. Big weekend to kick it off. We got all kinds of sports to happen and to talk about, of course, as it is busy. High school football, college football, the very latest on the basketball scandal that continues to mushroom. I don't know if it's out of control yet, but it's growing with tentacles by leaps and bounds every single day. And we'll talk more about that as the show unfolds here again, as we again proudly take we're live inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet here on this Friday. Again, September the 29th, final Friday of the month. Hard to believe that coming up on Sunday is October the 1st. Again, our show is number 604 today. We've got coming up Stacy Carter, head football coach of Science Hill. They got a big one tonight on the road down to Knox Farragut to battle the undefeated Admirals. Again, Science Hill comes into the ball game tonight, ranked number 8th in the state at 5-1. Farragut undefeated at 6-0 at number 3. We'll talk to Stacy about that coming up a little bit later on. Also, Mike Hedrick joins us live with a preview of all the racing this weekend. Again, it's elimination day coming up again at Dover, Delaware, the Monster Mile. Again, thank you, Jeremiah Clark. God bless you, my son, from AppalachianDigital.com. So we'll go live with Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR Fans Reporter, give you an update on the Truck Series and, of course, the Xfinity Series and, of course, the Cup Series. All three in action this week with the playoffs very much in high gear. And, of course, for the Cup Series, you've got, 8 spots and 12 drivers to squeeze into 8 spots to get to the next round of 12, which is next weekend in Charlotte. We're giving you a chance to win tickets to Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll give those away on Monday, and so all you have to do, and let's take you to the screen right now, and why would you not? It's free tickets to go see them in the Chase. Not in the Chase, but in the playoff they call now. There it is. Drive for the Cure 300, the Xfinity Series next Saturday. Giving away tickets to multiple winners to that race. And also the Bank of America 500 next Sunday at Charlotte Motor Speedway. All you do is TomTaylorSports.com/contest. As you see on the screen, good luck. No purchase necessary. All we need is first name, last name, town you're from, and your email address, and that's all we need. And we'll take care of the rest. Carmichael joins us a little bit later on to the show as well. Also going to be joined by Kevin Harmon, the preview. Kevin's going to preview the Tennessee-Georgia football game tomorrow, of course, in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Cletus Green will be by to join us. Also, the lovely Kristen Martin's in the house as well. She's going to join us a little bit later on the show as well. So all that straight ahead here, again, on this Friday, September the 29th. Countdown to Christmas, if you care, and most don't. We're 86 days away from Christmas 2017. NFL football last night. Again, we're not going to say much about the National Football League. However, I will say this. Last night, rather than kneeling, I think they're starting to get the message. I think they've heard the American people and grassroots America. They stood arm in arm, which is okay. Still you should have a hand over your heart, but that's better than kneeling. So anyway, that's what happened last night. Green Bay all over the Bears. Bears, not a very good football team. 35-14 the final. Packers go to 3-1 on the season. Bears drop to 1-3. And the last time the Packers, they lead the series now, the storied rivalry, the Monsters on the Midway. 94 to 6 in favor of the Packers. And so the last time the Packers led in this series was back in 1933. So they got a big win last night, 35-14 at a very balmy, for this time of year, Lambeau Field. Packers 35-14 winners over the Bears. Again, they go to 3-1. Bears drop to 1-3. Last time the Packers led in the series, again, they lead at 95-94, 6 ties, was back in 1933. So interesting. That was NFL football from last night. Got college football from last night as well. We'll give you a rundown on that. Also, we take a look at Major League Baseball. Man, talking about putting a knife in the heart of the St. Louis Cardinals. Goodness gracious. Cubs eliminated them, beat them last night, knocked them out of postseason play, and the way they did it was just like a dagger in the heart of the Cardinals. And the Cubs and the Cardinals, of course, don't get along anyway. So it is an interesting way to end that season for the St. Louis Cardinals. They've been mathematically eliminated from the postseason, and we'll talk more about that. Daniel Norris from Johnson City on the mound yesterday for Detroit had a heck of an outing. That's a good thing. And so Dino getting ready for 2018 as the season winds down for the Tigers. Of course, they're losing their manager, Brad Ausmus, who was a big supporter of Daniel Norris. So we'll see who the new man is, which has not been named yet. how he will figure into the new manager's plans for 2018. But Daniel Norris went out on the mound yesterday, got a start. He'd been relegated to the bullpen, got a start, and pitched very, very well. Young man from here in Johnson City. So we'll talk more about that in the Major League Baseball. Big weekend for college football. None bigger than the two regional teams, of course, three regional teams. The Bucks on the road at Furman. You've got Clemson invading Lane Stadium tomorrow night to battle the Hokies of Virginia Tech coach Justin Fuente. And, of course, down in Knoxville, it is, for many are saying, coaching for his career, Butch Jones against the Georgia Bulldogs. By the way, if you're interested, his buyout, the buyout for Butch Jones, if they say they don't need him anymore, $7.5 million for Butch Jones to, if you want to write a check and make him go away. So I would think that'll play into how quickly they pull the trigger if he doesn't get any better on his season. Of course, everything goes away if he beats Georgia tomorrow, obviously. So it's a big football game, and we'll break that down for you a little bit later on in the show and let you know that this is a very, very good football team coming to Neyland Stadium tomorrow for Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs. So we're live here at Champion Chevrolet, show number 604. Monday we'll be in West Virginia, broadcasting live from Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia on Monday. Tuesday we're going to be at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance in Kingsport. Wednesday, Chick-fil-A. Next Thursday, right back here at Champion Chevrolet. And next Friday we'll be back on the road at Food City. We'll be at Food City at Euclid Avenue in Bristol next Friday on the Food City Friday. But big thanks to Tim Copenhaver and Andy Dietrich letting us be here Monday for our 600th show on Monday. We were here yesterday for the show, normal Thursday. Last night, normal Champion 5-Star Football preview show. And then we're here today as well. And we love the digs here. The Cletus Green engineered and constructed studio inside the showroom here at Champion Chevrolet, where they have been busy yesterday and they're busy today. A lot of traffic out here. There are folks buying them. They've been selling the trucks. The Silverados have been flying out of here. It's the number one Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevrolets than Champion Chevrolet statewide. And the 2017 1500 Crew Cab All-Star, when you walk in there right off the top, you're saving $12,000 on a 2017 Silverados. Got to get them off the lot. 18s are here. Also, the double cab 4x4 All-Stars, you walk right off the street and right off the top of the ticket, and the sticker is a $11,000 savings on these Silverados. They've sold several of those just yesterday. It was a good day, and so it's always a good day here at Champion Chevrolet. I know we met a couple yesterday from Rocky Gap, Virginia, up near Bluefield, came in, passed several Chevrolet dealerships to get here and make a purchase. So we've had them in here from Louisiana. We've had them in here from Churchill. We've had them in here from Johnson City. So it's been a busy month, busy week, and going to finish it with a bang as the month winds up, of course, on Sunday, or rather on Saturday, and October 1st in here on Sunday. Quick break. We'll take a look at high school football. Busy night around Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Two biggies, of course, several big ball games. I guess for every kid playing tonight, every game is a big game, so we'll showcase who's playing who. We'll take a look at that and the standings and also the polls for this week and high school football around Tennessee. All that coming up next year on the road again at Champion Chevrolet. Inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet on show number 604 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by our great friends at Grip Energy Drink. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live at Champion Chevrolet. Inside the studio they built for us, inside the showroom here at Champion. Nobody sells more cars in the Chevrolet, the bow ties in Tennessee. Over the last 10 years, the number one Chevy dealer as far as sales. There's over 50 Chevy dealers in the state, and the number one from Mountain City to Memphis Baby's Elvis. From Memphis Mountain City is Champion Chevrolet. They flat move the vehicles here, and with good reason. For example, the 2017 Traverse, saving $5,000 right off the top when you walk in, 25% off the 2017 Cruise 4 doors. Again, that's $5,100 right off the sticker coming in here to sit down and talk with these folks. We talked about the Tahoe last night on the Champion 5-Star Football Preview Show. $5,600 right off the top of 2017 Tahoe. So the list just goes on and on. Of course, they have, what Andy say, over 150 pre-owned inventory. They've got cars in here ready to go, Honda CRVs, Jeep Wranglers, Chevrolet Suburbans, Chevrolet Colorados, Honda Pilot, Ford Fusions, Cadillac Escalades. Let's see, what else? Volkswagen Golfs. If you're looking for a pre-owned inventory, it's where I bought mine, of course. Got mine here a year ago. It'll be a year ago this month. And so love my ride, and it's a sweet riding machine I got from right here at Champion Chevrolet. High school football polls again for this week. 6A, Murfreesboro, Oakland, number 1. Science Hill from our neck of the woods, in at number 8 this week. 5A football, number 1 is Beach. Daniel Boone, the Trailblazers, at 3-2 at number 9 this week in the state. And 4A football, the Greenville Green Devils at number 1. The Elizabethton Cyclones with an off week in at number 4 this week in 4A football. 3A, Alcoa, number 1. The Longhorns of Johnson County, rock solid at number 3 in the state at 5-0. At 2A football, Meigs County at number 1. The Happy Valley Warriors in at number 6, went up a notch to number 6 this week. And in 1A football, again, Meigs County is the number 1 team at 2A, by the way. Happy Valley number 6. And then from 1A football, South Pittsburgh number 1, and Cloudland in at number 10 this week for the 1A football polls and rankings. The standings look like this. First off, in 6A, Knox Farragut, Science Hill 2-0. Hardin Valley 1-0, Knox Bearden 1-1, Dobbins Bennett in the Region 1 6A of the Big East is 0-1, Jeff County Morristown West at 0-2, and Region 1 5A Crockett with a week off at 2-0, Daniel Boone at 1-0. Then you got Tennessee I, Cherokee, Morristown East all right there, log jammed at 1-1, Cock County at 0-1, and the Volunteer Falcons at 0-2. In Region 1 4A, Elizabethton and Sullivan South on top of the leaderboard at 2-0 each. Again, the Cyclones off this week. South, again, we'll run down the schedule in a moment. They're at 2-0. Greenville at 1-0 in the conference. Sullivan East at 1-1. The Cougars of Sullivan Central at 0-1. And Granger and Union County at 0-2 in 4A. In 3A, Johnson County and Unicoi County, what a turnaround for the Blue Devils in Irwin. They're 2-0, 3-3 on the season. Unicoi County again and Johnson County tied for the lead in 3A. Then comes Chucky Doak and West Green at 1-1. Claiborne and North Green at 0-2 in 3A. 2A, Happy Valley and Sullivan North on top of the leaderboard at 2-0 each. Hampton and South Green at 0-1 and Cosby at 0-2 in 2A. Then the 4 teams in Region 1, 1A, Cloudland and Jellicoe at 1-0, Hancock County at 1-1, Unaka at 0-2 on the season. Here's your schedule for tonight. Science Hill at Farragut. Again, a big matchup there. Again, as we told you, it's number 3 Farragut hosting number 8 Science Hill. Dobbins Minute goes to Bearden tonight. Jeff County to Hardin Valley. Daniel Boone, as we told you, ranked in the state in 5A football at Moorestown East. These are all conference games. There's no more non-conference. It's head-to-head conference the rest of the way now for the regular season. Cherokee at Conn County tonight. Tennessee High travels to Churchill to battle Volunteer. Greenville will be in Bluntville to battle the Sullivan Central Cougars. Sullivan East will be at Granger tonight. South at home against Union County and Colonial Heights. Claiborne up on the hill, up on the mountain, I should say, at Mountain City at Johnson County. Unicoi County plays at Chucky Doak. Big matchup there in the Region 1 3A football. Knox Grace at Happy Valley. That'll be a good non-conference. And I just told a story. I said there's no more non-conference games, and there is. This is a non-conference game. Knox Grace at Happy Valley tonight. North Green and West Green, Jellicoe and Hancock County. Hampton will be at Bloomingdale to take on the Sullivan North Golden Raiders. Cosby at South Green and Cloudland tonight at Unaka. And again, not cold, a little cooler than we've had it, but not cold. So it'll be maybe, I don't know, light jacket weather, maybe sweatshirt weather, I suppose. But it's going to be pretty nice tonight for high school football, all things considered, although it's very obvious as I look out and see the leaves continue to fall off the trees, not because of cold weather, but because of lack of rain. The leaves are drying up and falling off, so we need some rain. But again, temperature is very pleasant tonight for high school football. In Virginia, Castlewood plays at Northwood tonight. Eastside will be at J.I. Burton. Gate City, the Blue Devils play at Ridgeview. Moorestown West at Union. Thomas Walker at Pineville, Kentucky. The Abington Falcons home tonight to Y Central. And open dates tonight: John Battle, Rye Cove, the Fighting Titans of Twin Springs, and Y Central all have the week off again in high school football. So that's a look at what's going on there in high school football for this Friday, September the 29th, 2017. Of course, tomorrow's the 30th, and Sunday is October the 1st. Hard to believe we've cranked out to the month of October, but here we is, and we're just clipping right along as we told you. Christmas-wise, we're talking, 86 days to Christmas, 2017. So it is here. All right, let's give you the very latest what's going on in the world of scandals. Unfortunately, it has dominated the sporting world as well it should, but we've got problems. This thing continues to mushroom. I said yesterday on the show, it's not going to just be Adidas, and it's not. Nike's now been named. In fact, they've arrested a Nike executive, Merle Code. He has been arrested, a former Nike employee, I should say, turned Adidas executive. One of the folks that have been turned in, we told you it would be more than just Adidas, and it has been. Nike's grassroots basketballs division, called Elite Youth Basketball League, has been served with a subpoena by the FBI and the U.S. District or U.S. Attorney. So FBI continues to dig into what U.S. Attorney June Kim terms as the dark underbelly of college basketball. And so now Nike's been pulled into the loop. You have Lamont Evans of Oklahoma State. You got to know this guy's there's a red flag when his nickname is Book. Emmanuel Book Richardson of Arizona is in trouble. Tony Bland of Southern California. And the fourth assistant, Chuck Person, an associate head coach at Auburn, is an Under Armour school. So there has been some competition between Under Armour, obviously Nike and Adidas. So this is going to get ugly. Evans, by the way, the coach at Oklahoma State, has been fired. Evans, who was entering his second year at Oklahoma State, accused of accepting at least $22,000 to exert his influence over certain student athletes at Oklahoma State and his previous employer, South Carolina. So it's not just Oklahoma State. Now South Carolina's been drawn into this. This guy also coached for a year at Illinois. Now they're being looked at. So this thing is spreading like a wildfire, which is unfortunate. Evans was in Oklahoma City, where he was released on $50,000 bond after appearing for an initial hearing in U.S. District Court. His next hearing is scheduled for October the 10th in New York. This is the associate head coach of Oklahoma State's basketball team, Lamont Evans. So he took money at Oklahoma State and also his previous employer at South Carolina, which is not good, obviously. And as we said, Nike has been named into this as well. This gentleman, Merle Code, is accused of assisting Adidas Director of Global Sports Marketing, Jim Gatto, in conspiring to pay high school players in an attempt to funnel top recruits to Adidas schools, increasing the company's chances of securing their signatures once they turn pro. So get this kid to go to Adidas school or a Nike school. We're going to pay him to go there. Then once he turns pro, he's going to sign a contract for Adidas in this case, or Nike. And so it's all about as it normally is, all about the moolah. So anyway, that's what's going on. And so it continues to escalate. Rick Pitino is out. Now they're talking about, they start their season October 30th. So they're looking for a coach now to take his place at the University of Louisville. Of course, he is retaining an attorney. Everybody's got an attorney. So we'll see how this all will continue to unfold, but it's not a good thing. So in fact, here's another part of this story. If you're spending this week ripping schools, talking about how dirty they are, like Oklahoma State, Auburn, Southern Cal, and Arizona, just stay tuned. South Carolina's been pulled into the mix now. Again, Pitino is out at University of Louisville, as is the athletic director as a result of this. So what's interesting is recruits are routinely referred to as being the particular shoe company they're going to go with. They're called Nike kids, Under Armour kids, or Adidas kids. That's referring to the tennis shoe company they go with. So it is, as this story says, the tentacles are deep and wide and long with shoe companies that have been in the basketball recruiting world. So it's going to get interesting. Bruce Pearl's now under the gun at Auburn. So there's question whether he's going to be around as the head basketball coach of the Auburn Tigers. Also, one other story, Louisiana High School has come out and said, I like this. Parkway High School in Louisiana has come out. This is their principal. Here's his, and I quote, Parkway High School requires student athletes to stand in a respectful manner throughout the national anthem. This is high school. During any sporting event in which their team is participating. Failure to comply will result in loss of playing time and or participation as directed by the head coach and the principal. This principal goes on to say continued failure to comply will result in removal from the team. Parkway High School is committed to creating a positive environment for sporting events that is free of disruption to the athletic contest or the game, so says Parkway High School principal Waylon Bates. So currently he says Louisiana says you can't do that, and if you do that, you're going to lose playing time. If you continue to do it, continued failure to comply will result in you being removed from the team. So we've already started doing damage control down on the high school level as well. We'll take a break, come right back. We'll go live to Northern Virginia, talk NASCAR with my man Mike Hedrick, getting ready for that. Also, a little bit later on the show, we've got Carmichael coming in. Also, top of the hour, we'll have Stacy Carter, the head football coach of the Scienceau Hilltoppers, due to join us. Carmichael later in the show. Also, Kevin Harmon later on to preview the Tennessee-Georgia football game. And we'll run down all the college games coming up. Also, Major League Baseball, what's the very latest on the playoff scenarios? This is the last weekend of the Major League Baseball regular season. Playoffs start next week. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter, due to join us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Let's go on the phone. Let's go to Northern Virginia. My man Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. Good morning, sir. How are you?
You're doing great. It's a beautiful day up here. It's sunny and cool. We haven't had rain. I guess we're like you. We haven't had rain in about 3 weeks. It's drier than a popcorn poot. My dad might have said way back in the day, slightly differently.
A popcorn poot? I didn't realize that. I've never heard of that. Drier than a popcorn poot. So dry in Virginia, dry in Tennessee. So we'll just kind of hunker down. When the good Lord wants it to rain, He runs the show. It'll rain. It's pretty simple. So this is His world. We're just passing through it. All right, NASCAR Monster Energy. Here we go. We're down to the final qualifier of this round one of the round of 16. So we got 4 guys in. We got to get to the next round. So we got, eight slots and 12 drivers to fill it. Let's give a preview of what's going on this weekend in Dover, Delaware.
Well, you know what? They just got done finishing up with the first practice, and I'll give you some practice speeds here in just a little bit. But, yeah, we're at Dover International Speedway this week here. And now, we went from a 1-mile flat track last week here at New Hampshire to a 1-mile crazy monster mile. It's got 24-degree banking, and even the 9 degrees have, or 9 degrees in the straights or whatever. So it's really a fast track. And to say it's fast, they're both 1 miles. New Hampshire, they were running around about 108 miles an hour. They're running over 130 at Dover. So they're really picking up the speeds. We know that Jimmie Johnson is the king of Dover. He's got 11 wins there, which is the most. And we know that Truex won here this time last year in the fall. But Matt Kenseth, let's keep him on the radar because of the current drivers. He's got the most top 5s and the most top 10. So Toyota is not notoriously strong at Dover. Chevy has 38 wins. Ford has 25 to Toyota's just 4. But, we know them Toyotas have been really strong this year here. So I'm looking for them to do good. And, in fact, you look at the speeds, they only had 1 practice today before they qualify later on this afternoon at 3:30. Over in Dover right now, it's cool, it's dry, it's sunny, and 63. So some of them came out in qualifying trim, some of them came out in race trim, but they were pretty quick. At the top of the board is Matt Kenseth and Kyle Larson and Jimmie Johnson and Kyle Busch. So those guys are fast. They were running about really speed. The 130s and the 140s and all that kind of stuff. So they were getting real good times. Just about all the players are really up there. The only 2 that are really kind of scary is Stenhouse and Austin Dillon. They're running around 25th and 26th. So, yeah, we've got that round of 10 or round of 12 they're going to be cutting down to. And so that's this race here, and then I believe Charlotte after that. So, the guys that are on the bubble are that Austin Dillon and Newman. Now, Newman was 11th in the speed chart just here right now. Kurt Busch, he's on the bubble at 15. Well, he was 6th on the speed chart, and Casey Kane was 19. So he needs to pick up a little bit of speed. But yeah, I'm expecting a great race there at Dover. Anything that happens on that track, no matter whether it's high or low, it always just kind of funnels back down into everybody's way. So anybody's problem is everybody's problem. Going to be great racing.
Absolutely. We're talking to Mike Hedrick live in Northern Virginia. The NASCAR Fans reported these are the drivers that are going to Charlotte next week. They're into the second round would be Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. So, again, there's 12 total slots, 4 are filled. You can do the math. There's 8 slots left out of 12 drivers still in the playoff. The bottom 4 right now are Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, and Casey Kane. So those guys have got to pick it up. I guess they've got to win to even get to the next round. So pressure's on, no question. The Monster Mile, as you said, Jimmy Johnson owns that track with 11 wins there. Kenseth has won it there 3 times. Rocket Ryan Newman, Mike, he's won it 3 times as well. So those are 3 guys. Chase Elliott runs well there. Kenseth, as you mentioned, JJ, Kyle Larson. So guys who don't run well there, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Austin Dillon. So Kurt Busch doesn't particularly run well there either. So it's going to be an interesting on the concrete in Dover, Delaware before they head off the second round is Charlotte, Talladega, and Kansas. So a lot of pressure on these drivers to get into the second round. That's what the owners want. That way they can see and hear their vehicles on TV and on the radio, on the internet. So a lot of pressure on these drivers this weekend to get into the second round of the playoffs.
And there really is, and and that's exactly what the playoffs are intended to do. It's intended to weed out the weaker teams to find out who's really going to be the champion. And these first few races, I don't think we're really seeing who's going to be the champion just yet. I still think we're in that weeding out the lesser teams. But as we go on, and those points, those playoff points, whatever follow you, it's going to be the stronger teams are going to, it's going to percolate to the top. I mean, it's going to be, that's where the cream is going to be at the top, is like they always say.
Yep, and then we're also racing in Dover this weekend, the Xfinity Series. Here's your top 12 again in that particular series. Justin Allgaier is your leader. Cole Custer, Elliott Sadler, the regular season points champion, is third. Daniel Hemrick, William Byron, Brendan Poole, Matt Tifft, Ryan Reed, Brendan Gaughan, Blake Cook, Michael Annett, and Jeremy Clements. Out of that 12, 4 out of the 12 are rookie drivers. That tells you NASCAR is in pretty good shape for the future. But give me what's going on in the Xfinity Series this weekend in Dover.
Well, it's going to be great racing in that series as well. I mean, Allgaier has been racing well. We know William Byron, racing for Junior Motorsports. He's strong. And you know what? And everybody's the fan favorite. It's going to be, I think it's going to be Elliott Sadler. I think you're going to see him. He's going to be Mr. Consistent. He's going to be steady. He's going to be, Mr. Finisher, I think. So I'm right now I'm looking for, Blake Cook and Michael Annett and those guys. They're on smaller, not as predominant teams, and they really haven't had as much speed. So I'm looking for, the guys at the top to stay up top. Look for Matt Tifft in that Joe Gibbs racing car. He's a great young driver and a young man. I mean, that's a young man that just a year or so ago had a brain tumor, had to get out of the car while they took a brain tumor out of his head, and there he is back in the car, and not only back in the car, but, I mean, he's got himself in there poised to really staying in playoffs.
We're talking to our buddy Mike Hedrick on the phone here live. You see on the screen the NASCAR Fans Report in Northern Virginia is where he's at, talking about the Truck Series. It's going to be in Vegas this weekend, or is in Vegas. Christopher Bell, these guys running for the top 8. Christopher Bell, Johnny Sauter, former champion Matt Crafton, Ben Rhodes, Austin Cindric, Kaz Grala, a couple of rookies, Chase Briscoe, another rookie, and John Hunter Nemechek. So out of the top 8 running of the Truck Series uses 8. The other, of course, the big boys use 16. And then when the Xfinity Series uses 12, Truck Series uses 8. Mike, out of those 8, as we said, 3 are rookies. Another good indicator that the NASCAR future is in good hands.
Yeah, I love that Truck Series. I actually, years back, I would even question why they had the trucks in there. I just thought it was silly. It's almost like having a minivan in there. But now that I understand why that they're in there, well, for one, to promote the truck lines, the Ford F-150s and all that, but really as an incubator for some of these really young drivers, and teams as well to get themselves a shot. So they're going to be racing at Vegas and Dega before they go down to their round of 6. And with what we just named right there, Chase Briscoe is out just a little bit. John Hunter is out just a little bit. but Briscoe and Hunter are only out by 3 and 7 points. So they're still really in that mix. John Hunter Nemechek comes from a great family. I look for him to kind of rebound. He had a little bit of rear end problems in this last race, so it wasn't really his driving. And you know what? I got my eye on that Kaz Growler kid. I was watching him when they were practicing last week, and of course they get the driver all buckled into the car and they're talking to him or whatever, and then he just bowed his head down and closed his eyes for a second, and everybody stepped away from him. I guess he was just praying for his own safety and the other people's safety out on the track, but I just thought that just showed a little bit of character in the young man, that not only is racing important, but you know what, the good Lord is important to him as well. So I like that. A little side note, but I did like that.
Absolutely. We're talking to our buddy Mike Hedrick. They tested Goodyear tires this week up at Bristol Motor Speedway. What was the latest on that?
Yeah, they had two of the good young drivers out there, Ty Dillon in the number 13 and Eric Jones in the number 77. They did a Goodyear tire test on Wednesday out at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Bristol went ahead and laid down some of that grip strip, that PJ1, and down in that lower groove like they do like in normal racing. So what they were really working on is they were working on making sure they had a good tire compound for next year. So they'll come back and they'll either have tires that fall off the right amount, or can actually hang in there real good. So that was a good test for them. Everything looked like it really went well. I saw that Eric Jones had cut off his mullet, so maybe that'll help with his aero speeds there a little bit.
There you go. There's a new 00 team too. Tell me about that. What's the very latest on that?
Yeah, and you know what? In this one here, I think that there's a lot more to the story here. There's a brand new racing team out there, and it's Starcom Racing, and they're going to be racing starting. They're not going to be at Dover, but they'll be out there right after that in the number 00. Now, Starcom Fiber is a New Jersey telecom company out there, and they've actually been a sponsor in the sport here for Derek Cope and a few other drivers with a different number. Now, when the team is started up, that right here for 2017, the veteran driver Derek Cope is actually going to drive the car for the remainder of the 2017 season. But what they've said is they're really poising themselves to have a good car that a good driver is going to want to be in that 00 for 2018 season. I'm predicting this might be the seat that we've been looking for Matt Kenseth to get into, because it looks like it's a good team, looks like it's got good financing and a good amount of its own sponsorship. So maybe we see Matt Kenseth in that 00 next year.
Matt Kenseth, maybe Danica, you think, or we both think Kurt Busch is going to sign that contract for Stuart Haas taking a pay cut. But yeah, Kenseth would be the lead guy more so than Michael McDowell and Eric Amarola, obviously, because he's a former champion. So Kenseth, and of course it's a new company or new team, so he could run for a couple of years and step away. So we'll probably know soon about that. Also, Penske starting a new IMSA team. Tell me about that.
Yeah, there's something kind of neat. NASCAR team owner Roger Penske. Now we know he's been great in NASCAR, and he also has Formula One teams and all that. Well, he's starting a new prototype in the IMSA, or the International Motorsports Association, here in the United States. Now, IMSA, as they're called, is actually owned by NASCAR, and it's kind of NASCAR's version of a sports car and road course series, and so they race here mainly, actually in the United States or whatever. So I think it's a real good idea that he's actually getting into that, because it winds up they kind of have the same demographics. It's still the same Americans between 20 and 40, and they like the same kind of things, and so I don't think that you'll see Penske going over to IMSA, where the bodies are totally different, where the racing style is totally different, and be able to bring something back to the NASCAR team. I just think that the man just really likes to race, and he's moving over into what is really becoming a fantastic series. That IMSA racing, I just started watching it last year or so through Bubba Burger, and it's great racing. It's road course racing. It's a little crazy because they have a couple of series out there at the same time. It would be like if NASCAR ran the Cup, the Trucks, and the Xfinity all at the same time on the same track for the 3 hours. They're all kind of mixed up, and so it's a little hard to follow at first, but fantastically fast cars. So I think that's cool for Roger Penske to jump over in it. I don't think you'll see Keselowski or Logano over there doing any driving over in that series, but I do think that you're going to see maybe even a couple of more NASCAR drivers, just because that's just more money, more series that you're in or whatever. But I just thought that was kind of neat that Roger Penske likes to race so much that I guess he'll race wagons or wheelbarrows or whatever next.
Coming up next, we'll be talking to Cletus Green from right here at Champion Chevrolet in a few minutes. Also, Stacy Carter, head football coach at Science Hill, joins us by phone coming up here in a few. Last but not least, Mike Hedrick. Obviously, Dale Jr. kind of created a little ripple amongst the NASCAR brethren this week with his stand on the national anthem and his thoughts about he doesn't have any problem with people kneeling for the national anthem, and I'm sure the Junior Nation, some are for it and some are against it. What's your take on Junior's comments about the national anthem?
I think that those are his comments. I think that's what we're kind of losing that in America, where because somebody makes a comment, that all of a sudden you're either for that or against that, and you have to either come out and say something. I'm a former or a non-active duty Marine. I'm going to stand for the national anthem. I think that you should, and there are reasons because of all who has fallen. But if you now he stands and he has his hand on his heart. But his comments that hey, maybe that's their thing. You know what? That's beautiful. That's his comments, and that's what America is made of. He can make his comments, and when he goes to the ballot box, he can pull the one he wants, and I can agree or disagree and go to the ballot box and pull the one that I want. I don't like the comment that much, but you know what? I went to the Marine Corps to fight his right to say that, but I also believe it's your duty to stand for the national anthem, and have your hand on your heart. There's so much that's been put into this flag in this country. People have lost or given their lives. They've actually given their lives for the freedoms that we have here, and it goes beyond disrespectful for people who are sitting cashing in and enjoying all of the great perks of this country to sit there and talk about how bad it is first, like it's really worse than it is good. In our country, we've got our black eyes here and there, but this is a great nation. This is the United States of America. This is founded on the principles of God, and this is the greatest nation in the world, and we should just remember that and be proud of that and stand and put your hand on your heart.
There you go. Can't top that, my friend. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday. We'll get a recap of what happened in Dover this weekend with the Cup and the Xfinity, and what happened this weekend in the Truck Series in Las Vegas. Great job as always. You are a pro. Thank you, and I'll talk to you Monday, my friend.
All right. God bless everybody real good. Hey, screen taters, woo!
Screen taters, there you go. I love that guy. He does a great job. I'll tell you, Mike Hedrick, NASCAR Fans Reporter, joining us live from Northern Virginia. Quick break. We're going to see if we can get the Cletus man in the house over here. They are busy. There is traffic on this lot today. They are hopping, so that's what we like to see. And the number one Chevy dealer in the state, nobody sells more Chevys than the folks right here at Champion Chevrolet from Mountain City to Memphis. Quick break. We'll take just that. A break, come back and take a look at Major League Baseball. Stacy Carter joins us top of the hour, the head football coach of the Science Hill Hilltoppers, talking about his big matchup tonight on the road in Knoxville against the undefeated and third-ranked Farragut Admirals. And so we'll talk to Coach Carter coming up in a few minutes. We'll see if we can squeeze Cletus in coming up next. If not, we'll take a look at Major League Baseball. We're live inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. 282-2121, the phone number, area code 423-282-2121, or championjc.com.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications and 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, there he is, our man Cletus, who designed this studio. Look, hey, he is inside his studio, inside the showroom here at Champion Chevrolet, and you're really proud of this, because I'm proud of it. I think it's some really cool digs. I want to say publicly thank you for building this for me, because there's no way if Andy and I were doing it, we'd still be trying to get the glue and the PVC pipe and the zip ties. It'd be like Laurel and Hardy. So Cletus steps in and gets it done. So me and Andy could have never done this.
Andy is the man that everybody likes because he's the guy that calls the guy to come fix stuff.
Exactly. So, but this is a cool digs here. I love being over here at Champion Chevrolet, and wow, it's busy this morning. I love it.
Yes, it is. It's wonderful. We love being busy.
Yep. So what's been flying out here so far?
Well, we've trucks. That's most of our days contend around selling trucks.
Silverados and Colorado, right?
Silverados and Colorados.
Yep. Let's talk about them. The 17s, you're trying to get rid of the Silverados 2017s because the 18s are here and they're on their way. They keep coming.
18s are here and coming, but the 17s are here with deals on them.
Yep.
So
let's talk about those deals. Tell me about it.
If you want to buy, there is a buy. We have got trucks up to $12,000 off. And brand new 17 Silverados, no miles, brand new, ready to go.
What are the selling features? Let's go with a 1500 Crew Cab All-Star Silverado. What's some of the bells and whistles selling feature?
Well, they come, as most people got to be normal now, used to be loaded, but power windows, lock screws, tilt. The majority of them are going to have a power seat, remote keyless entry, remote engine start, backup cameras, aluminum wheels, four-wheel disc brakes. There's, all the stuff that we used to add to everything. It just comes on its standard. You can move up. I've got some with leather, slide rear windows. Most of my inventory has spray and bed liners already in them, so you don't have to worry about purchasing bed liners or going out and doing anything else there. They're already there. They all come with trailering packages. The majority of them are going to have a trailer brake controller already in them, so you don't have to have it under there hitting your knee and working half the time. It's all factory installed. So
those are great bells and whistles, and of course you're saving $12,000 when you come in to sit down talking about a 1500 Crew Cab All-Star. Then you've got the double cab 4x4 All-Star. You're saving $11,000 off those. Tell me about those.
Well, they're pretty much the same truck, a little smaller back seat and a bigger bed. So if you need a little more hauling capacity for the bed and don't have so many long-legged people in the back seat, they're wonderful.
We're on our buddy Cletus Green, still on the screen, Champion Chevrolet. Again, Andy is off on assignment, and so it's Cletus and Tim and the gang holding down the fort while Mr. Dietrich is off on assignment. The 2017 Colorado LT 4x4, saving $4,000 right off the top on those. What are some of the selling features of a Colorado?
Well, you're pretty much the same. You got a V6 engine, a little smaller, a lot easier to get in and out of parking spaces. Gas mileage jumps up a little bit, but your equipment levels will stay fairly close. You're going to have the backup cameras and power windows, locks, remote start's going to be on the majority of those as well.
And so some of the other things I want to talk about real quick. Let's see. Tell me about a 2017 Sonic LT. 25% off the sticker when you walk into your Champion.
Yes, sir. GM's offering 20%. We've upped that to 25% off. So, discount from us as well has some incentive from GM to get the price on down there a little bit. Great little cars. Run, drive, excellent. Handle great. Superb gas mileage.
Compare those to a Spark. That's another one's on sale. You save $3,000 on a 2017 Chevy Spark. What's the difference between a Spark and a Sonic?
Well, the Spark is a little smaller car. Great city if you're going to be extremely tight parking, but the Sonic is a little bit bigger car, going to be a little bit better if you're going to hit the road and stay on the highway with it. As far as just weight of the car, things like that. They both get great gas mileage, both a good buy. Then we have the Cruise, which is the next step up in progression, which gets you a little more room, a little more comfort, the ability to add a few more niceties if you so desire. They've got a lot of the safety features are eligible on them. You get into the Cruises and the Malibus, you start having lane departure. It tells you if you cross over your lane. It tells you if somebody's on your quarter panel where you can't see them good in your mirror, the car will come up and tell you that. So a lot of that stuff is starting to come on those cars. The backup cameras have been one of the first big things, but all this other technology is starting to come in. We've got a lot of vehicles, Tahoe Suburbans, that have lane keep, which when you hit the line or the edge of the road beside you or the line in the middle of the road, it will kind of divert the car back into your lane. So if you're not paying attention, the car is.
There you go.
It's not autonomous driving. It won't drive you anywhere, but it will kind of keep you out of, hopefully will prevent a lot of head-on collisions and people driving off off of the road when they're looking down or not paying attention and driving. Hopefully that'll be a big benefit to a lot of people that have it.
Yep. Last but not least is all kinds of the different vehicles we can talk about, but I want to zero in on the 2017 four-door Traverse, saving $5,000 right off of those. Got to get them out of here, get ready for the 18. So the selling points of a Chevrolet Traverse.
Well, they're 7 or 8 passenger, depending on the configuration on the inside. Size-wise, they carry a lot of people. Very comfortable. We don't carry a minivan anymore. That's the closest thing we have to a minivan. It is a lot more SUV related, but it has the comfort convenience of some of the minivans on the inside without the having to drive a minivan.
There you go. Champion, you get a minivan without driving a minivan. I like
That's
that.
it.
ChampionJC.com. You're on the phone number 423-282-2121. Of course, we're located on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile here in Johnson City, Tennessee, and geographically, that doesn't stop anybody. People come in from all over the place, don't they?
They do. We do business, normal business from Knoxville to Roanoke. We'll go from Asheville up into the coal mines, up into Virginia, and we do a lot of business in all those areas. And very blessed that those people will drive down and trust us to do business with us.
You come down from Roanoke or come up from Knoxville, you're passing a lot of Chevrolet dealerships to get here. So there's a reason why they come. It's customer service and the pricing. Again, you come in here on a 2017 Silverado, $12,000 off of it on the 1500 crew cabs. The double cab, you're saving $11,000 as soon as you walk in the door. That's right off the top, and so that's just some of the savings you can get here, Champion, right?
Yes, sir.
As Tim says,
how do they do that?
Yep, my man Tim's over there. Class guy. I love coming over here. Cletus, what do you want to leave us with, my friend?
Well, just come visit us. Hopefully everybody has a great evening. Hopefully we have a lot of high school football playing. Hopefully your team wins. If not, the better team wins. But
win or lose, be a good sport, right?
Win or lose, it'll be a good night. The parents get to watch their kids, and there's nothing any better. Yep. Enjoy that time because it will end sooner than you think.
Yep. And if the winning team, usually the boys get a kiss from their girlfriends. Always a good night when the boys win. They get a little
exactly
sugar, loving. There you go. Some taters. I love this guy too. He's the one that built this right here behind us. I know we keep going on about it, but it's really pretty spiffy, and I appreciate it very much. It's classy looking, just like everything else they do here at Champion. Quick break. We'll be right back. Stacy Carter joins us next, head football coach at Zions Hill, here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show, you see on the screen, let's go to the phone, a dear, dear friend, the head football coach of the Zions Hill Hilltoppers, Stacy Carter. And, Coach, good morning, my friend. Actually, now it's after 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, and it's a big day today for Zions Hill football, is it not?
Yeah, it definitely is. Good afternoon to you, Tom. It's a huge day for us.
Yeah, and so let's go back last week. We had you on the show last week at Town Acres talking about the Daniel Boone game, and got after him pretty good out there. Kind of give us a quick recap of the Hilltopper win over Daniel Boone.
Well, I mean, it's one of those games that, we think we got some stuff straight on our defense. We had some personnel around that really helped us. And we were making plays early and often. And offensive line did a great job on offense. And I think Jalen had a big game throwing the ball, and to T.J. Patton and a couple others. So it's just a good night. As far as the Daniel Boone, they were playing without their quarterback and running back. It definitely affected the game some and probably some morale, especially when we were able to jump on them early. So you jump on a team early like that has some adversity already, it's hard to recover. And our guys played very well. I hate that they had to deal with what they had to deal with. I could imagine not playing with my starting running back and quarterback and not finding out till Thursday before the game that I wasn't going to have my quarterback at all. So, I hate that it happened that way, but I was proud how our boys went out and how we played and took care of our business.
You talked about Jalen Adams. I know he is a dual threat back there, rushing and passing, and one of the top kids in the area in both rushing and passing so far this season. So he has been a heck of a dual threat for Science Hill football.
He definitely has, and I think, he's putting up great numbers. I think he had 97 yards. I wish I knew that it was only 97 because he's rushed for 100 yards, and I don't know how many straight games now. So he only played a half, and he, accounted for a couple touchdowns himself, threw them. I mean, he just had a tremendous year. I think he's having a better year than any player around this area, probably from here to Knoxville, and I don't even know what's going on in that area. So, but he definitely is just putting on a great performance every night.
On the head football coach Stacy Carter, the Science Hill Hilltoppers. Let's take a look at the standings. Region 1 6A, Knox Farragut, Science Hill on top at 2-0, Hardin Valley 1-0, Knox Bearden 1-1, Dobbins Minute at 0-1, and Jeff County Morristown West at 0-2. The schedule tonight: Dobbins Minute goes to Bearden, Jeff County to Hardin Valley, Morristown West goes across the state line to play tonight in Southwest Virginia. And, of course, Coach, the one you're focused in on as well you should be. You're traveling to Knoxville, take on a very good Farragut team, and kind of give me a scouting report on the Admirals, would you please?
Well, the Farragut team is a very explosive team. They have some receivers that are getting big-time college looks. They have a tight end that's already committed to University of Tennessee. Has some great players. I think they've won 18 straight games. So, won a state championship in 5A. So the morale's high over there. Coach Courtney's a super man and a super coach and has done well, and great to see him having all this success. But, from top to bottom, they're a good football team. So, it's going to take our best shot, and we think we're going to, if we play well and we go out there and we do what we're supposed to do, then we can play with anybody around.
Absolutely. Because you know what I'm going to ask you, as I do every time you and I get together, what's going to be the keys to the Hilltoppers get a big road win down in K-Town tonight and head back home for Hardin Valley next week?
Well, I think we've got to run the football. You have to run the football consistently. We got those good running backs, and if you can control the line of scrimmage and run the football, we're going to have a lot of success. Defense, it comes down to the same thing. Once you start their running game, they're going to hit some passes. But if you can stop their running game, you limit what they do, and you limit their opportunities. If they can keep the ball and they can drive the ball, which that's not their thing they do, because hopefully this matchup will be good for us. So you got to control their run game, and we have to run the ball well. I think it comes down to that.
The Topper Nation will travel well, Coach. Get down there tonight, get a big W for the Hilltoppers. We're pulling for you. Appreciate your time, and go Toppers, all right?
Go Toppers. Thank you, Tom.
Yes, sir. Good man right there. Love that guy. Stacy Carter, head football coach of the Science Hill Hilltoppers, joining us again on the show. And, again, you heard him. You got to run the football. That's what you got to do to get it going. And you'll feed off the run game with the pass game with the guy that's a dual threat. Again, you got Jalen Adams back there, over 700 yards rushing and over 700 yards passing the football. And he's had, consecutive games of 100 yards rushing. A bunch of them he's strung together. So this kid is something special for Science Hill. And, again, we'll see how they do tonight against the third-ranked team in the state, the Knox Farragut Admirals in K-Town. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet. As Cletus told you, we're, again, putting together some pretty special deals to wrap up the month of September. And so, again, some of the specials, you've got the 2017 Malibu LT saving $5,500 right off the top on a 2017 Malibu LT. Also, the 2017s, they got to get them out of here. The 18s are on the back lot, and there's 18s on the front, but there's some more in the back that they've got to get to the front so they can display them and ultimately sell them. As Andy always says, we're not in love with any of them. Excuse me, we're not in love with any of them. They got to move them on. So here's the Tahoes, the 2017 Tahoes. You can save $5,600 off the sticker on a Tahoe. Also, one of those great nameplates of Chevrolet, the Impalas. Again, 22% off the sticker, or right at $8,000 off the sticker of a 2017 Impala LT 4-door. So those are some of the savings. You can check out everything they've got at championjc.com. On the website, you can call them at 423-282-2121, or again, you can just stop by in person here on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. Service department is open also on Saturdays, by the way, from 8 till 5, and they're open 6 days a week here at Champion Chevrolet. Quick break. We'll be right back. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll be joined by Carmichael. He joins us, stopping by. And also coming up a little bit later on the show, we'll hear from Kristen Martin from the Internet Sales of Champion Chevrolet. Also, Kevin Harmon joins us, the preview of the Tennessee-Georgia football game tomorrow at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. But up next, we'll take a look at Major League Baseball and some college football here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. As we are, I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to delve into over here. Probably the white grape. That's the one that's got, there you go, the white grape from Grip Energy Drink, sold at all food cities. And so the Grip Energy Drink, they sell the whiz out of these, and all the different flavors they've got of Grip Energy Drink. They are awesome. I love the Grip Energy Drink. They all natural ingredients. They use vegetable juice for the coloring and flavoring. Again, they are clean and full of energy, of course, full of vitamin B, full of biotin, which is good for your hair, your skin, and your nails. It's also full of niacin, full of B1 and vitamin B12, which is good for your joints and your joint health. And so the different flavors you can choose from: lemon lime, pink grapefruit, root beer, pineapple, of course white grape, and also the sugar-frees or sugar-free orange and sugar-free pink grapefruit. Only 5 calories per one of these on the sugar-frees. Let's see, I've got one right here. Let's reach across here and show you the sugar-free pink grapefruit. There you go, only 5 calories, and again, only 2 carbs based on the sugar-free. So all these available in all food cities. Again, the good folks at Grip Energy Drink, and our proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and we appreciate Al and his staff working very, very hard to make it happen. So quick break, we'll take a look at college football. 2 big ones this weekend, 3 big ones. The Bucks at Furman, Virginia Tech, the Hokies hosting Clemson, and the Tennessee Volunteers hosting the Georgia Bulldogs. Big weekend for college football. We'll take a look at the top 25. Also, a couple of games last night, one of those involving the Texas Longhorns, and see how they did. And we'll take a look at baseball and college football next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live from Champion Chevrolet, inside the studio, inside the showroom here at Champion Chevrolet.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I got him right here on the screen, my man from upstairs in the finance department. He's a huge Hokie fan, Chris McCall. Hokie. How you doing, my friend?
Hokie. Hi, Tom. Glad to be here, buddy.
Well, all the folks here inside the Champion Chevrolet has said that it will be a Clemson victory. Your Hokies don't have a chance, and you say otherwise.
I say that Tech will prevail on Saturday night. It'll happen.
Tomorrow night.
It'll happen. I'm a homer.
That's exactly right.
I'm a homer.
People, I mean, all these football teams have a big-time home field advantage, but I'm telling you, Saturday night in Blacksburg, Virginia, Lane Stadium, that place will be nuts tomorrow night.
Hey, I've been in Death Valley. Mm-hmm. I've watched Tennessee run through the tee. There's nothing like Enter Sandman coming on and 60,000 people standing up and start jumping up and down, and Tech comes out. It is absolutely electric. Mm-hmm. Got to be the best feeling I've ever had at a football game.
Because they jump up and down.
Up and down. The whole place shakes.
The adults do. Everybody does.
Concrete bleachers shake.
Wow.
Can concrete bleachers shake? They do it. They do in Blacksburg. So
Clemson coming to town. Obviously, the number 2 ranked team in the country coming to Blacksburg. So as a Hokie man, playing some pretty solid football. They've beaten. We talked about this last night. They've beaten, of course, West Virginia and Delaware and East Carolina and Old Dominion. They're 4-0, correct?
4-0, yes, sir.
Clemson has defeated Auburn. Had a pretty good win against Louisville, and then had a couple of cream puffs, I think. But strength of schedule skews a little bit towards Virginia Tech. What do you think?
I think so, and that's what we were talking about last night some too. I mean, Clemson's won good, and Louisville probably the best team that they faced schedule wise from what we were looking at last night. We were talking last night. They beat they beat Auburn, but Auburn was a 24-10 struggled against Mercer. And Mercer, of course, took the hit by ETSU last week. Yeah. So I believe it's a real close. Last night we were talking about it too, but the team's parity is unprecedented in my mind, only because you've got good young coaches. Dabo Swinney and Justin Fuentes, 2 young coaches, respected in the business, great minds. Defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech's Bud Foster, been there for 100 years, done a fantastic job. Everybody knows Bud. And then, of course, Clemson has Brent Venables. So, I mean, he stands alone too. He's an old Bill Snyder guy, played for Bill, then coached at Kansas State for a while. It's Clemson has them on the size difference. I think speed-wise, Tech can match up with them pretty good, especially in that DB area. I think they'll be all right.
Chris has been following the Hokies for a number of years. So, in your humble opinion, what's been the biggest surprise so far this year for the Hokie football team under Coach Justin Fuente?
Well, we had such a question mark at quarterback. I think Josh Jackson's been the biggest surprise and the best surprise. And our running game, I think people were worried about that. And they've just come out with a solid running game. The People's kid last week had 3 touchdowns. Everybody around here is happy to see that because he's a Southwest Virginia boy. He's a local. He's a junior. But they've had some really good impressive drives in these first 4 games. So we're hoping they can have some real good impressive drives Saturday night.
This is Tech's conference opener. Of course, Clemson's 2-0 in conference play, but this is Tech's conference opener. Next week they go to Boston College. but none bigger than tomorrow night. Lane Stadium, ESPN game days, going to be in Blacksburg tomorrow for the first time since 2007 or 2009, one of the two.
It's one of those. I can't remember either, but it's been a while. Yeah.
I can see if I can't give that for you right here. 2007. 10 years since I've been in Blacksburg for game days. So that tells you the importance of this football game. Obviously, Clemson, the defending national champion, they've got that with a chip on the shoulder, losing the ACC title game to Virginia Tech. Fuente said, we're not even talking about it this week, getting ready for this team. But I guarantee it's in the back of those guys' minds.
Sure, it's in the back of their minds. And when, just like Tech 2 or 3 years ago when they beat Ohio State in the opener, Ohio State went on and won the national championship. They got Clemson last year. Clemson becomes national champions. I mean, what you want to do is be able to put that into your opponent's minds. So, of course, those kids that were there, they know that too. They know they're getting ready to play a tough game Saturday night. And I believe both teams will be ready. I really do. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Tomorrow night kickoff will be, 8 o'clock tomorrow night?
8 o'clock tomorrow night.
8 o'clock on national television. This is one of those games for Justin Fuente. Of course, Beamer's gone. Coach Beamer there low those many years, but this is a chance to, it's kind of a signature game for Fuente to get this win, be able to knock off Clemson on national television. Well, there's all kinds of positive repercussions from recruiting. Just lots of good things could happen for Virginia Tech if they get this win.
This will solidify that hire for Virginia Tech, and it'll show everybody that Justin Fuentes is the man for that job. I have no doubt that he is. I think he's done a great job since he's been up there. I know it had to be hard coming in behind Frank Beamer. You can imagine coming in behind a legend and coaching like he had to do. He's really done it well. They've incorporated Frank into every part of that program. He comes and talks to the team once a week. If there's a dinner or something, Frank and his wife are there. He's a part of the community there in Blacksburg. He's a part of the college there in Blacksburg, and they've embraced him, and I'm really proud of the fact that Judson's embraced that too. He's used that to his advantage.
There you go. Chris McCall here at Champion Chevrolet getting it done. Virginia Tech Clemson preview and hokey.
Hokey high. Thanks, Tom.
He's awesome. A good man right there. Again, our buddy Chris McCall again with the Hokies. He always does a preview for us, of course, in the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview. Let's look, by the way, at the ACC tomorrow. Pitt has Rice as a non-conference game. North Carolina, the Tar Heels go into Atlanta to battle the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. Syracuse will be at North Carolina State in a Atlantic Division matchup tomorrow. The Chippewas of Central Michigan will be at Boston College tomorrow, non-conference game. Louisville taking on the Racers of Murray State. That'll be coming up tomorrow. I'd say there's a butt whooping getting ready to happen there since they got beat by Clemson. And then the Seminoles of Florida State roll into Wake Forest. Of course, they may be looking ahead because next week the Miami Hurricanes roll into Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. But tomorrow the Seminoles will be in a 3:30 kickoff in Winston-Salem against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, who are 4-0, by the way. They're 1-0 in the conference. Florida State out of the gate at 0-1 and 0-2, so a little uneasiness in Tallahassee for the Seminoles of Jimbo Fisher. Southeastern Conference tomorrow, here's your schedule. Arkansas looking for a W in the worst way, hosting New Mexico State. That should happen. Vanderbilt at Florida. Stay tuned for that one. That could get interesting, although the Gators certainly in the swamp, very tough to beat there. Eastern Michigan will be at Kentucky tomorrow. Eastern Michigan will be taking on the Wildcats in Lexington, coming off that heartbreaker to the Gators. Mississippi State at Auburn. LSU has a checkbook game against Troy tomorrow. They'll whoop them, write them a check, send them home. South Carolina, big ball game tomorrow for both Will Muschamp and Kevin Sumlin in College Station tomorrow night. It'll be the Aggies hosting the South Carolina Gamecocks, and of course the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yeah, roll Tide. They're going to tomorrow night take on the Ole Miss Rebels, and on paper, Ole Miss 2-1. Of course, Alabama at 4-0, the number one team in the country. They've allowed 40 points in 4 games, so pretty stout defense for Mr. Saban and the boys down in Tuscaloosa tomorrow night. Of course, the big one right down the road that Kevin's going to talk about next half hour in our preview, the Georgia Bulldogs and the Tennessee Volunteers. And I don't know if it's a must-win for Butch Jones, but it better be a positive outcome. I don't know, he needs to win. If he doesn't win, it needs to be close. But I think at this point he needs to win the football game, as they're already starting to talk about buyouts, and so they've already started saying his buyout is $7.5 million, which to me is insane because he's only making $4. How do you cut those kind of deals?
I would like to have that kind of deal.
Kevin Sumlin of Texas A&M, if they fire him, he gets $10 million. He's not making that. He's making more to get fired than he is if he stays.
That might be the wrong incentive, don't you
Yeah, I'm just like, good grief. Okay, if I bomb out, it's okay because I'm still going to get paid good. So there you have it. I mean, this doesn't make good sense to me. Southern Conference tomorrow. The Buccaneers will be at Furman, take on the Purple Paladins of Furman University. The Citadel at Sanford, VMI at Mercer, Western Carolina at Chattanooga, and Wofford at Presbyterian. All that's going on tomorrow. Again, we've got my man Carmichael will join us coming up here in just a few minutes. And last night, the Texas Longhorns got a big win over Iowa State in college football. Tonight, you've got Miami playing at Duke. Southern Cal, 5th ranked. This is on the picking panel, by the way. Southern Cal, number 5, Trojans at number 16, Washington State. That's tonight on the left coast. Tomorrow, top 25 teams, Wisconsin hosting Nebraska. There's all kinds of turmoil in Nebraska. Now they're talking about bringing back a former player who's coaching down in Florida. Scott Frost may be the replacement for Mike Riley. They got rid of the athletic director. They named Dave Remington as the interim athletic director for that team. So we'll see how that goes for the Huskers tomorrow in Wisconsin to battle the Badgers. 18th ranked South Florida at East Carolina. 21st ranked Florida, the Gators hosting Vandy tomorrow at 12 noon. 4th ranked Penn State should have no problem against the Hoosiers at home against Indiana. They are tomorrow. Georgia, Tennessee, we talked about that. Louisville hosting Murray State. 22nd ranked Notre Dame hosting Miami of Ohio. Pretty good one tomorrow evening. It'll be 24th ranked Mississippi State at number 13 Auburn. As we said earlier, LSU checkbook game against Troy. Send them back home with a butt whooping and a check. 11th ranked Ohio State. The mighty Buckeyes will play Rutgers tomorrow night at 1-3 in the Big Ten. Clemson and Virginia Tech, hokey, aye. 6th ranked Washington will be at Oregon State tomorrow night. Here's a pretty good one on paper. 15th ranked Oklahoma State, 3-1, will be at Texas Tech, who's unranked, but 3-0. Then you've got Mississippi. Mississippi will take on Alabama tomorrow night, 9 o'clock in Tuscaloosa. And San Diego State, 19th ranked Aztecs, hosting Northern Illinois University. So that's your games tomorrow. And a couple of games, as we said tonight, top 25 college football. Quick break. We'll be right back. We got Carmichael ready to go. Talk Major League Baseball, talk college football. He's loaded for bear, my man Carmichael. Better known simply, we call him back in the day when he was my stat man when I was doing the Bucks on the radio. We called him Spanky. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back on show number 604 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. your one-and-done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. There he is, back from New Orleans. How about him on the screen, right beside the American flag, my man Carmichael. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing? Welcome back.
Thank you. I am doing fine.
Is it the old saying when Dorothy said on Wizard of Oz, there's no place like home?
There is no place like home. When you walk in home last night, you see your little girl there. It makes it, even though it was nice, and to see a place I'd never seen before, it's no place like home.
No place like home. Come home and see Mama.
Oh, Mama went. She got, this was our like vacation, so she got to go on this trip. so we had
Mama was in the house.
It's kind of like a vacation for us. So
yep, and you deserve it. You work hard. So
it was a work vacation. I worked as much as I spent 2 days in classroom sessions and things there. Got to have probably the neatest thing I got to do there. We had a party on Tuesday night at the Mardi Gras World, where all the floats for the Mardi Gras parade they keep them there. Got my picture made with Batman, but the float. But my biggest one was I got my picture made with a personal hero of mine, Steve Gleason. Some people know about the story of Steve Gleason. He was a special teams player for the Saints, played defense, has developed ALS. He is the living emblem of courage. Had a child after he was discovered with ALS. He's probably the biggest voice of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, in the United States right now. Saw the movie. If you have never seen the movie Gleason, if you can, I think it's Netflix or Amazon One has it, or rent it. It will touch you like nothing touched you before. He blocked. His big fame in New Orleans was after Katrina was there, and they were out. They were in San Antonio for a year. They come back in their first home games on Monday Night Football with the Falcons. Bono and Green Day play. The Saints come marching in before they play the Falcons. Atlanta has the ball first possession, can't move it. Line up to punt. Steve Gleason comes through, blocks a punt, goes in for a touchdown. There is a monument outside the Superdome of Steve Gleason blocking that punt. There is a float of him blocking that punt, and I got underneath him, had my picture made with him blocking the punt.
Awesome.
And also with Reggie Bush and Jimmy Graham as well, their floats. But just amazing place, amazing town.
We got Carmichael with us in Johnson City Parks and Rec. We'll let him talk about that coming up in a moment. Let's jump in here and go. The scandal. This thing is Arizona. Now South Carolina's in. Illinois is in, unfortunately. I don't say that with happiness, because it's mushrooming. Auburn, of course, Louisville. This
Oklahoma State.
College basketball, Southern Cal. This college basketball scandal is going to really expose a lot of folks, I'm afraid.
This will be the biggest scandal to hit the sport since at least the betting scandal, the 50-51 season that cost CCNY their national championship, where they won. The only team to never win the NCAA and the NIT in the same year. But the betting scandals of the early 50s. This is going to be bigger than the betting scandals. This may bring college basketball to its knees. Now, maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but what I'm reading about this scandal is it's nasty, and it's already cost a Hall of Fame coach's job. It's already cost a guy who's been one of the top athletic directors in the United States his job in Louisville. It's cost a bunch. It's got some guys arrested. It's got a guy who's probably close to a Hall of Fame basketball player if you take his pro and college career, Chuck Person, arrested. Somehow, to me, if Chuck Person's involved and he's an assistant coach at Auburn, what does Bruce Pearl know? He's already been hammered once by the NCAA.
Yep.
He was a shaky person when he was assistant at Illinois. What now does this do with Bruce Pearl?
Well, Lamont Evans, of course, they fired him, the associate head coach of Oklahoma State. $22,000 in money to exert his influence over certain student athletes at Oklahoma State and his previous employer, South Carolina, and he was formerly employed at Illinois. So you just wonder where these guys, where they've been,
Bruce,
what kind of trail.
Bruce Weber, possibly Frank Martin. I mean, I say if it's out there and it's all over, Arizona, I'm sure is going to be involved in, from what I'm reading, is going to be involved in this. It's going to be burn it down. This is exposing the hypocrisy of college athletics. I say burn it down. Let's get everything out in the open and let's start everything over again.
As I said here on the show yesterday, I said if you think it's just going to be Adidas, you're wrong. Nike's now involved, and also Under Armour. There's starting to be some rumblings about them because what these kids are called, elite recruits. Nike, the Elite Youth Basketball League. This is the grassroots division of Nike, but they call these kids that they're going after routinely being referred to as Nike kids, Under Armour kids, or Adidas kids. The price of getting a recruit in the door is the price of doing business. What they do, they want to get Carmichael or Tom Taylor in high school, get them to say, okay, if you go to XYZ school, you get Adidas apparel or Under Armour apparel, and then what they want, the ultimate goal is once they go through college and turn pro, then they get them to sign on the dotted line to promote their product, and then they make lots of money.
And it's been going on for 30 years.
Yeah.
But it's just now what's happened is you've gotten even more seedy agents involved. And now when the feds get interested in it, hey, this is like a dog on a bone. And I mean, it's going to be serious. And I mean, it should be. I mean, this is no way to run. You go to the university to get an education. I know you go there, and as an athlete, it develops your skills, hopefully gets you in professional sports. But if it doesn't, you've got life skills to fall back on. But if if these kids have no business in colleges, then they should be playing professional basketball somewhere. Part of this is the NBA's problem too. I mean, starting with why not go and fund a full-fledged developmental league for kids who do not want to go to college, are not quite good enough to play in the NBA just yet, just like Major League Baseball. And the NBA is making more money than anybody right now. They're probably the most flush professional sports league, maybe with the exception of the NFL, but even maybe more than the NFL. Their TV deal was huge. Why not start this developmental league? I mean, they've got one going, but they don't. It should be even a better developmental league than what it is right now.
So stay tuned, because this is not going to go away, obviously. And so it's rocking the college basketball world. And so I would think every president of every university in this country today is doing some fact-finding, some checking, and I'm sure some athletic directors are a little uneasy because, every one of these schools, I was trying to think, Florida State has what? The Under Armour?
I believe they're with Nike.
Tennessee's with, because I know they recently switched under Dave.
I think they went back to, they were with Adidas. I think they've went back to Nike.
So anyway, and I'm not making any accusation, I'm just saying all these colleges, is it fair to say most of the D1 schools are tied to one of these three, Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas?
Adidas, you've got a few Reebok. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else, but the big three are those three. And why should a university? I mean, and the money's either going to the coaches, or for a long time it was going to the coaches. Coach would sign a deal with the shoe company, and then they would provide the clothing. I mean, why is an employee of a university signing a deal with an outside thing saying, why doesn't it go up for bid? Just like if I run a business, Park and Recreation, when I do basketball uniforms, I have to put it out for bid and have to get competitive prices and everything. Why is it this? And I'm a municipality. Why isn't a state-run university or a school treated the same way?
Tino said he didn't know anything about it.
Well, he'll know when he's done. He's done. Yeah, he. And if you believe that, I've got some oceanfront property right up here beside Tim's lot that I will sell you some oceanfront property right across the street here from Champion that will say, Rick, but he can't keep telling people I don't know anything. Then to me, it's like, well, then you've let this go on underneath your nose. You're a very poor manager. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Either way, it's not a good thing for him. We're talking to Carmichael live at Champion Chevrolet. Switching gears, final weekend of Major League Baseball, and everything's kind of getting set and ready to go for the wild card games and for the playoffs. And again, final weekend of the regular season. What's your take?
It looks like it's going. I don't know if it will be a rematch in the World Series. Originally, the first year, liked Houston to win the West, liked Houston to get to the World Series. Right now, it's hard to bet against Cleveland in the American League. I mean, they are playing so well. Houston's playing well also, but I think if Cleveland can get the home field, has the home field advantage, they'll be able to win the American League. Now, the National League is a little bit more up in the air. The Dodgers started out so hot, and they've been so bad for the last 6 weeks. Washington has been like steady Eddie, but when you look at Washington, is it like, well, is it a product of playing in the National League East, or are they really that good? And then now the Cubs have started playing well, down the stretch. So it's a 3-horse race, and you could, one of the wild cards could get themselves in the mix as well.
Here's what we got the very latest as of last night's play. The Twins will be the road team in the wild card game, likely in New York against the Yankees, who've clinched a playoff berth. Indians, American League Central champs. Astros, American League West champs. Red Sox have clinched at least a playoff berth. They have not won it yet. It's still down between them and the Yankees. Diamondbacks will host the National League wild card game. The Dodgers will play the National Wild Card game winner, and the Nationals will play the Cubs next weekend. So that part's been set. Washington hosting the Cubs. Dodgers will play the wild card winner. At this point, it's going to be Arizona and somebody. And so I think the Cardinals got eliminated last night. So I think it's down to
Milwaukee and Colorado.
Milwaukee and the Rockies for this weekend. So Red Sox can lock up the division title to win over the Astros, or a Yankee loss to the Rays last night. They got beat by Houston, didn't they?
Yeah, they got 12-2, and the Yankees lost. Yankees blew a lead, had a lead, and Tampa came back and beat them 9-6.
Yeah. Right now, the Indians have a 1-game lead over the Astros for the top seed in the American League. The team that prevails in this race, of course, gets to play the American League wildcard winner in the ALDS and host any deciding games throughout the American League bracket. So, Indians play the Twins at home last night and finish up with a 3-game set against the White Sox. And the Astros are in Boston for 4. So, anyway, Cardinals are out. It's either the Rockies or the Brewers against the Diamondbacks, so it's kind of getting firmed up.
I like the Rockies to win, be the second wild card, go to Arizona. Arizona wins. My prediction is Arizona beats the Dodgers if they play. Arizona beats the Dodgers in their playoff series.
Oh, really?
I like Arizona, and I'll go out on a limb right now and say, despite Dusty Baker, and it's not. He's a nice guy. He was a good player. I just don't think he's been a very good. I don't think he handles the pitching staff very well. And some of his lineup decisions, sometimes when he was in Cincinnati, you shake your head. Now, he let Zach Cozart hit second when he was there most of the time. Well, that was the Zach Cozart that was hitting 220 with no home runs, no power. Now, the Zach Cozart now that hits about 295 and 25 home run power, you're okay to do that. But I like Washington. I think they've got the pitch in a series like that when you can trot those 3 guys out there that start, Gonzalez, Strasburg, and Scherzer, and you've got a guy in the bullpen. I think you can win the thing, and I believe Washington will play the Diamondbacks with Washington prevailing in a close series.
Stanton goes deep twice last night, hitting home runs number 58 and 59. This guy's making a big statement to be the MVP of the National League this year.
But he's got a possibility, but I think it's going to be Paul Goldschmidt that wins because the Diamondbacks have done so well. Stanton has had this historic season, but I think Goldschmidt wins it because Arizona's played well. Judge hit his 51st last night. I think he has cemented the American League Rookie of the Year.
No, I think that's a shoe-in, no question.
But I think the most valuable player is going to come out of Cleveland or Houston.
Indians win their 100th win of the season for the Cleveland Indians. That's probably the team you don't want to play in the playoffs. They are red hot right now. Daniel Norris, by the way, Cleveland is 31-4 since August 24th. That's incredible. Indians 31-4 since August 24th.
And you know, if you don't have a team to root for, if you don't have one of these teams aren't your teams in the playoffs, the story to me this year is root for Cleveland. I mean, finally to break the jinx since, I mean, they've not won the World Series since '48. So now it's like they're the Cubs of this year, and they came so close. I mean, so close last year to winning it.
We're talking to our buddy Carmichael live at Champion Chevrolet. Coming up, we're going to hear from Kevin Harmon as he's going to break down the Tennessee-Georgia game tomorrow for us. And you look more baseball. Daniel Norris out of Johnson City, 5 scoreless innings, pick up his first victory in more than 3 months. He was in the bullpen, came out and started, and had a good outing. He gave up 2 hits in 5 innings, struck out 1, so good for Dino. He loses his big supporter, Brad Ausmus, the manager. He was a big fan of Norris. He's not coming back next year, so this was a really good resume builder for Norris for next year.
He's got to get work over the offseason, get healthy, get well, maybe develop a few things, and then be able to hit the ground running when he gets to spring training, depending on who the new manager in Detroit will be.
Major League batting leader Jose Altuve had 3 of Houston's 17 hits last night, keeping the Red Sox from clinching their first back-to-back American League titles in franchise history. And Altuve is batting .350, 2 singles, and his 39th double. This guy just continues to swing his stick year in and year out.
5'7", and I mean just and playing second base, just an amazing player. A lot of people didn't think he'd come up and be a nice player, maybe a .290 hitter, maybe with 8-10 home runs, steal you a few bases, and he's just come out of nowhere the last few years and become the best hitter in the American League.
Talking to our buddy Carmichael live here at Champion Chevrolet. Moving to the next round, NASCAR. We've got the boys. We've got 8 spots to be filled by 12 drivers tomorrow. 4 in. Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch are into the next round. So we got 8 spots to fill Sunday with 12 drivers to do it. Who do you like?
I don't like anybody from Stewart-Haas. I think that's going to be 2 of your drivers going home. I believe
Busch and Harvick.
Yeah, I think especially Busch. I mean, Harvick has a chance if he can win. Casey Kane's going to be one of the other drivers going home, and probably Blaney. So you're going to advance those other guys out. But this year, to me right now, sitting here September 29th, unless Jimmy Johnson shows something, your champion is in these first 3 guys, Truex, Busch, or Larson. They've been the best 3 drivers all year. I mean, Truex, you'd have to say probably has been the best and most consistent driver this year. Kyle Larson's right below him, and Kyle Busch is right below him. And that's another one. If you don't have a dog in the hunt, when it comes to the story of Martin Truex, is one of the best stories in NASCAR. To root for a winner. But I think, like I said, I think that the Stewart-Haas drivers are out. I think that Kane's out, and I think Blaney will be eliminated as well.
Talking to Carmichael, let's do the pick'em panel. Here we go. Of course, we'll let you know how things go Monday. We're going to be in West Virginia Monday, broadcasting live from Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia. Looking forward to going up there and hanging out with the folks there. They want us going into West Virginia more, and I said, okay. By the way, speaking of West Virginia, the Mountaineers are off this week. They got a big road test next week at TCU. And my boys, ring that bell. We are Marshall, the Thundering Herd in Cincinnati tomorrow to battle the Bearcats. Good luck to Doc Holliday and the head coach of the Thundering Herd. And we bleed green. Go Herd tomorrow in Cincinnati. Pick'em panel, here we go. Georgia, Tennessee, Carmichael, what do you think?
Tennessee. Or Georgia, I'm sorry.
Georgia all the way?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Butch's days are numbered, but they may very well be.
A $7.5 million payout for Butch if he goes, but he's got to win tomorrow, and we'll let Kevin delve into that coming up in a minute. Clemson, Va Tech, what do you think?
This is Clemson's last test to get to the Final Four of college football. I like Clemson to win a close one.
All right. Taking the Tigers.
If they win this, there's nobody, not Florida State, there is nobody left for them the rest of the way to the Final Four.
No, you're right. I would agree with you on that. Their schedule certainly skews in favor of Clemson from here on in. East Tennessee State at Furman tomorrow. Who are you taking?
I like the Bucks after that upset win last week. I like the Bucks this week.
All right. By the way, Mr. Copenhaver last week went 9 for 10. Who let you down, Tim? Was it Mississippi State? Other than that, he'd been perfect. So you got to watch him because he is on a roll. Southern Cal tonight at Washington State. Who do you like?
You know, I like the crazy man tonight, Mike Leach, to pull off the upset. This will be a statement game at Washington State, and if you can stay up late enough to watch it, this will be a very fun and entertaining game because those teams will throw the ball all over both teams will throw it all over the field.
Taking the Cougars tonight.
Taking the Cougars.
Washington State. Mississippi, they're playing tonight, by the way. Tomorrow, Mississippi State at Auburn.
Mississippi State laid that egg last week on the road, but Gus's team has underachieved. But I like Dan Mullen because I think he's a better coach than the math professor.
Taking Mississippi State on the road. High school football tonight, Dobbins Bennett at Bearden.
Dobbins Bennett.
Taking DB, all right. Science Hill at Farragut tonight.
Toppers.
Taking the Hilltoppers. Yeah. All right. Daniel Boone at Morristown East.
Morristown East.
Ooh, all right. Okay, that's swimming upstream. Although Andy took Morristown East. So enough said on that. Unicoi County at Chucky Doak tonight. It's a big one. Unicoi County's turned their program around. He's doing a good job.
Yes, they have. But it's at Chucky Doak. I'll go with the Black Knights.
Black Knights.
The alma mater of Carneal Manuel that played for the Bucks back in the day in basketball.
There's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Carneal, he could play old southpaw.
Yes.
Old lefty. And Hampton at Sullivan North tonight. Picking panel.
Let's go with Hampton.
Taking the Hampton Bulldogs. We're talking to Carmichael. And let's see a couple of other games on the picking panel. Who do you like between Oklahoma State at Texas Tech?
He's 50 and he's a man, but he laid an egg last week, but I still like Oklahoma State to come through.
Gundy and the Cowboys?
Yeah.
All right. Nebraska, Wisconsin. Lots of turmoil in Nebraska.
Boy, there is a lot of, and you know, I read this. I mean, Scott Frost is the obvious candidate if they make a change in Nebraska, but some people say don't sleep on. I can't pronounce the gentleman's name. Ken from Navy runs a kind of similar option style offense. He's from Hawaii. He runs a similar kind of option that Nebraska's famous for. Very disciplined team. So, you know, everybody in Nebraska wants to, but they want to keep it in the family, and that's where a lot of people in college football people say, so many programs have that problem. We want to keep it in our family. Well, sometimes the family tree is chopped down, and you've got to start somewhere else.
Two more, Vandy at Florida and Mississippi and Alabama.
Two offensively challenged teams. If you need to take a nap, that's the game to take a nap in. I say Florida wins at home.
From the defensive side of the football.
Yes.
Although Del Rio did pretty good at Kentucky. He kind of sparked him a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say 13-10 probably Florida.
Ole Miss and Alabama.
Oh, that'll be that's how bad does Nick want to win. I'd say 42-10.
42-10. All right. Tell me what's going on in the Parks and Rec, my friend.
We are doing basketball registrations right now. Youth basketball. We started on Monday. $25 for Johnson City residents, $30 for non-city residents. We do provide jerseys for youth basketball, ages 6 through 15 for boys and girls. If you would like to register, www.myjcparks.org and register. We've also got adult basketball registrations going on. $200 for women's teams. They play an 8-game schedule. $400 for men's teams. They play a 14-game schedule. $5 for any non-city residents, and you have to register for that in the office. We're not set up yet for adult registration, but we do have information at Wing Deer Park, www.myjcparks.org or 283-5822. We'll be happy to give you that information. And on next Thursday, we'll talk a little bit about Super Spooky coming to Memorial Park Community Center coming up in October.
Need referees?
Need referees if you want to referee basketball, if you want to keep score, if you're interested in coaching youth basketball. I did before, back when I was in undergraduate and grad school ETSU, I did that. A former colleague in the sports information department of ours, Keith Tunnell, I got Keith coaching it for a year or two. And if you love basketball, would like to coach it, even if you don't have any children or don't have any children now that are age-wise to play, come in and coach. We're always looking for volunteer coaches.
I would be interested in coaching little ladies. I got little ladies running around the house.
That's a good one. We always need those.
All right. Or a referee. Beep, foul. Dietrich shoots 2. How's that? Is that good?
Yes, that's good.
You're awesome. See you next week.
See you next week.
He's my man. Carmichael, quick break. We'll be right back. We will come back and be joined by my man Kevin Harmon talking Tennessee, Georgia. He'll break it down as the ball man does. See what's going on tomorrow in Neyland Stadium. A big, big football game in a lot of ways for both teams. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on show number 604 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
I'm Tom Taylor, you are
Dave Angie.
And we got coming up, it's a really cool, every Thursday, it's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Get you ready for high school and college football every week. Every Thursday, you're going to be covering what for us?
Be looking at the Big East Conference.
Ooh, that would be Dobbinsville, Science, and all those great football teams in that conference. Doug Fritz will be giving you the rest of the high school football picture every week. Then we got colleges covered. Who are we going to be covering?
We got ETSU. We have Tennessee. We have Virginia Tech.
All those. Carmichael's will be along to give us the big 5 games every week because it is a 5-star football preview show. So hope you'll join us every Thursday right here in the showroom of Champion Chevrolet. Dave and I will be co-hosting the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview. And then on top of all that, we're going to have a picking panel where you're going to match us against you and you against us, and I can't wait because they don't have a chance. You're going to go up against us. We're going to pick against you for some really cool prizes, and they don't have a chance, do they?
No chance at all. It's going to be fun times.
Oh, yeah. Putting toe to what?
Toe to the leather, man.
Toe to the leather,
Ready
man.
to go.
Ready to go. Can't wait. Again, join us every Thursday right here. It's a Maiden Voyage Cool Show, co-hosted by Dave Ange and myself. It's the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview coming up every Thursday right here from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Can't wait to see you on the show. There she is. Look at her, ladies and gentlemen, in her sign seal colors. That would be Kristen Martin with Champion Chevrolet. You didn't think I knew that, did you? See, I was all over. That's a Hilltopper. So
oh yeah,
she's here
every Friday.
Every Friday, she's here and ready to roll. And so, internet sales. It has been busy. Been watching again this morning. You've been flying around here, and it's been a good start of the weekend.
It's been a good start. I've had 2 sets of customers here this morning running around taking care. Had some people from Virginia and people from Kingsport. So. Been busy.
Yeah, always love finding out where she's dealing with folks from. And yesterday you took a Cadillac in on a trade.
Yes.
And you sold a truck to a couple in Rocky Gap, Virginia.
Rocky Gap, Virginia. I had never heard of that.
Yeah,
I now know.
It's a little wide spot up near Bluefield in Bland County and on the West Virginia border. So they came 2.5 hours, passing a lot of Chevrolet dealerships to come here, right?
They sure did.
Yeah. And today, Kingsport and somebody in Virginia.
Marion, Virginia.
So, Cletus said earlier that you pretty much carry, or consider rather, the regular territories from Knoxville to Roanoke. It's just pretty much.
It really is. I mean, the people that come here from those areas, they don't really do a whole lot of anything in the areas where they live. It seems like they say that the people that unfortunately live in those areas, that the dealerships, I should say, that live in those that are in those areas they live in, tell them they can't touch our pricing. When they mention us, they say we can't touch it going down there.
Really?
Yeah. So.
As Tim says.
I've heard that multiple times.
How did they do that? So the dealerships just say, you might as well go in there because we can't touch Champion.
That's what they say. I've had multiple different customers tell me they've heard that from those dealerships.
Awesome. That is awesome. So you've been in the car business for a while, obviously. On this sale paper, what jumps out at you? I know the 17s are trying to move them out and get the 18s that are here on the back lot. Some are on the front, but we've got holes to get the 17s out and the 18s in. But on this sheet, what jumps out at you as a lady who's been in car sales for a long time?
Really, the best bargain that we've got right now, besides the trucks. I mean, the trucks are a no-brainer on what we do on those. But the Cruze, we have a 2017 Cruze. Very nicely equipped vehicle in the 15s. We've got a handful of them left to choose from, and it's a lot of car for the money for somebody that needs something that's fuel efficient, or a kid that's getting ready to start driving, or whatever. It's a really good deal.
What would you compare a Cruze to out there as far as other makes? Give people an idea.
It's along the lines of like a Honda Civic, a Mazda 3, the Toyota Corolla, something along those lines.
Yeah, but the Cruze 25% off again, 4-door, ready to roll. So that's a good deal.
Yes.
Obviously. What else?
And then also the other thing that we have going on right now is the Tahoes. I mean, there's the Tahoe. We have one sitting here right now that's just under $50, and anybody who's priced a Tahoe they're not cheap. There's a whole lot to the Tahoe. It's like buying a computer on wheels, but to find one under 50 is hard to do, and especially a new one. That's near impossible.
So you're saving right at $5,600 right off the top when you walk in. And then, of course, the trucks. Andy talked about them yesterday. You talked about them yesterday. Cletus talked about them today. The Silverados, you're saving $12,000 off the sticker walking in on a 1,500 crew cab All-Star. And then also the other ones you're saving, how much on those, on the Silverado 1500s?
On the 1500s, you've got anywhere from 10 to 12, depending. There's a few different things going on. I mean, where can you go and get that much off? And even if you watch any of Chevy's advertising, they don't advertise near that much. It's just something that we do here, and everybody asks us, how do we do that? So
as soon as you walk in
we
the
do it
door,
all day, every day.
All day, every day,
Yes.
6 days a week. And then the Colorado LT pickup 4x4. You sell a lot of the Colorados too, and you've got, what, $4,000 off the top on those.
We do, and there's not been a whole lot on the Colorado since it was redesigned. They've just not had a whole lot of money, so to have $4,000 off on a Colorado is huge. I mean, most of the time you get $400 or $600, and that's about it. So that's a big deal on that truck.
So you told me this before, for every 10 transactions, how many come in with a used that they're trading in something out of 10 transactions?
I would think probably 6 out of 10,
6
if
out
I
of
were
10?
guessing, yeah.
I know Andy told me yesterday you got 150 pre-owned that's looking for a home, and you got a little bit of everything price-wise and make-wise, right?
Yes, and you get a lot of people who they do pass them on to their kids, so that's why those few that that do buy that don't trade kind of thing. So, but people that come in that buy here continue to buy here. I mean, we get a lot of repeat business.
So step me through. The couple yesterday came in with a Cadillac, traded it in, so it hits the lot. They drove off with a new truck. They're happy. That used car goes. What happens to it next to Champion?
What'll happen to that car is it's actually going to go through a couple different processes. We're going to run it through service. We're going to also have it detailed, of course, and then we'll get pictures taken of it and get it on our website. So there is a bit of a gap before the pictures hit our website. So if you're interested in any one of those that you see what we call a stock photo of, just not a photo of that actual vehicle on our website, you can call us, chat with us, text us, or whatever, and we'll go get pictures for you. I do that a lot. That's a big part of my job, is going in the back, finding our new trade-ins, taking pictures and sending them to people's phones or email or whatever. Before they ever get through all the processes and make it out front.
There you go.
Yep.
So she's good. She knows what, this ain't her first rodeo. She knows what's going on. So pre-owned inventory. Andy always, he kind of trembles every time you come on because he says, I'm gonna get knocked off the island here because she does a good job and you do. You really do.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
So you're traveling
Andy's
down tonight?
MIA today.
You
So
what?
I said Andy's MIA today on us.
He's out on assignment. So
Yep.
as Tim said, again.
Again.
On assignment, but he'll be back next week. You're traveling down to Farragut tonight for
I
the
am.
Hilltoppers.
I sure am.
Had Coach Carter on the show earlier, and Coach Carter said we got to run the football. They're a very good team. They got some guys that can catch the football. So
Coach Carter's a good man. He took good care of my kiddo, and I appreciate him for that. So he's a good man.
he
Good
is
coach.
a good man. He is top shelf. Science Hill's lucky to have him, and I think most folks understand that because
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you this from Stacy Carter days when I was around him at Science Hill that one year and at South. He does a lot of things behind the scenes for kids that people will never know. You don't want them to know.
Nope, that's right.
He and his wife Ginger do a lot for kids.
They do.
That need a little help here and there, and they take care of them. So
And I've told you before, we sure miss you at Science Hill.
Well, thank you.
We wish you were there. Nothing against the other guys. They're great too, but we do miss you there. So
she's nice. She's wanting me to buy her pals tea. I know she is. That's where we're headed with this thing. But thank you. It's sweet of you. Have a good weekend.
thank you. You too.
Yeah, she's a jewel. And again, that's going to do it from here. We again had a big time as always. Want to say thanks to the folks that made it go today. Want to say thanks to Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. As we said, head coach Stacy Carter, the Science Hill Hilltoppers, big football game tonight for the Toppers down at Farragut, taking on the number 3 ranked Admirals in the state. Carmichael just came by, of course. Kevin Harmon, apparently he is in the middle of something today. Couldn't get hooked up with him, but hopefully get him back next week. Again, talking about Tennessee and Georgia, and the Tennessee-Georgia football game is huge tomorrow, needless to say. So, he just told me to call him because he's now where he can hear the phone. So he's traveling. So let's do that. I want to get him on, and I'm going to call him. We'll take a quick break, come right back, and we will load him up and get him on here before we get out of here. We want it's the biggest game, obviously, in the area for a lot of folks to be the Tennessee-Georgia game. So we want to get Kevin in, and let's see if we can get him dialed in here before we take off. Quick break. We'll be right back here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. I'm Tom Taylor. You are
Dave Angie.
And we got coming up, it's a really cool, every Thursday, it's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Get you ready for high school and college football every week. Every Thursday, you're going to be covering what for us?
Be looking at the Big East Conference.
Ooh, that would be Dobbinsville, Sciencefield, all those great football teams in that conference. Doug Fritz will be giving you the rest of the high school football picture every week. Then we got colleges covered. Who are we going to be covering?
We got ETSU. We have Tennessee. We have Virginia Tech.
All those. Carmichael's will be along to give us the big 5 games every week because it is a 5-star football preview show. So hope you'll join us every Thursday right here in the showroom of Champion Chevrolet. Dave and I will be co-hosting the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview. And then on top of all that, we're going to have a picking panel where you're going to match us against you and you against us, and I can't wait because they don't have a chance. You're going to go up against us. We're going to pick against you for some really cool prizes, and they don't have a chance, do they?
No chance at all. It's going to be fun times.
Oh, yeah. Putting toe to what?
Toe to the leather, man.
Toe to the leather,
Ready
man.
to go.
Ready to go. Can't wait. Again, join us every Thursday right here. It's a Maiden Voyage Cool Show, co-hosted by Dave Angie and myself. It's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview coming up every Thursday right here from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Can't wait to see you on the show. Enjoy at your own discretion. So, again, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show every Thursday. We record it here, or do it live, I should say, but it's recorded. You can go back and watch it. A lot of folks do on Fridays, and we appreciate that very much. Co-hosted by my buddy Dave Angie, and I feel like we have a very good show and a lot of good folks contributing to the show each and every Thursday right here at Champion Chevrolet. Although there's only one loss between them, Tennessee and number 7 Georgia appear to be headed in different directions. While injuries have not helped, the Volunteers' lackluster offense has fans grumbling about head coach Butch Jones, while the undefeated Bulldogs, 4-0, 1-0 in the Southeastern Conference, are suddenly the toast of the SEC East after last week's 31-3 dismantling of Mississippi State. Kirby Smart says, I love this quote, he says, humility is only a week away in the Southeastern Conference. It doesn't matter. No team cares what you did last week. Nobody in the SEC cares what you did last week. They only care what you did this week. Tennessee 3-1, 0-1 in the conference. Crucial for the rest of the season for this football program. Georgia's offense led by true freshman quarterback Jake Fromm. Again, this young man on the season, Fromm, let's see if we give the numbers. He's had an incredible start for a true freshman. He went in when Easton got hurt early in the season. From 43 out of 69 passing. That's pretty strong. 650 yards, 7 touchdowns, only 1 pick, and 69 passing attempts. That tells me he has pinpoint accuracy. Again, 69 attempts, only 1 interception. And so he is the man that engineers his football team. Coming out of the backfield, Nick Chubb, 371 yards, 6 touchdowns. Sony Michel, 2 TDs, 194 yards rushing. They got guys touching the football. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 of those are quarterbacks. You got 9 running backs touching the football, or have so far this season for Georgia. Again, they're passing. Goodwin, 8 catches, 214 yards, 4 touchdowns. Wims, 8 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 guys have caught the football for Georgia. Their defense has been making a statement all season. Bulldogs enter Saturday's game ranked 4th in total defense in the Southeastern Conference. Again, giving up right at 270 yards a game total. That's it. 3rd in scoring defense. They've allowed only right at 11 points a game for the Georgia defense. So Tennessee's running back John Kelly, who leads the Southeastern Conference with an average of 112 yards per game rushing, will try and find holes and a very stingy front 7 Georgia Bulldog defense. Quentin Dormady remains the starting quarterback, although Butch Jones turned to freshman Jarrett Garantano for a spark against UMass. Wasn't much of a spark. 2 for 5 for -3 yards passing for the quarterback. Georgia will have redemption on its mind Saturday. Of course, remember last year, Dobbs threw the 43-yard bomb into the end zone and won that ball game in the last play. 34-31 decision was kind of a telltale of the recent history of these two teams. The last 6 games between Tennessee and Georgia have been settled by 8 points or less, including 3 of the last 4 decided by a field goal. They play it tight again, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. 3:30 kickoff in Knoxville. One more time, here's your high school schedule tonight. You have Cherokee at Cock County, Claiborne at Johnson County, Cloudland at Unaka, Cosby at South Green tonight. Daniel Boone will be at Morristown East. Dobbins Minute plays at Bearden. Greenville at Sullivan Central. Hampton the Bulldogs at Sullivan North tonight. Jefferson County to Hardin Valley, Knox Grace at Happy Valley, North Green at West Green, Science Hill goes to Farragut, Sullivan East at Granger, Tennessee High at Volunteer, Unicoi County at Chucky Doak, Union County plays at Sullivan South, and Crockett and Elizabethton have the week off. In Southwest Virginia, Castlewood at Northwood, Eastside at J.I. Burton, Gate City at Ridgeview, Morristown Western Union, Thomas Walker at Pineville, Kentucky, and the Abington Falcons hosting Wise Central, John Battle, Rye Cove, Twin Springs, and Wise Central. John Battle, Rye Cove, and Twin Springs have the night off in Southwest Virginia. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. I want to say thanks to Tim and Andy for letting me be here not once but 4 times this week. Monday we were here for show number 600 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Then here twice yesterday. We're here for our regular Thursday show, and then last night the Champion 5-Star Football Preview. Of course, today we're here again, an open date this week with Food City. We'll go back to Food City the next 3 weeks. Next Friday will be at Food City on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. But a big thanks. This is kind of like my new home. Love coming over here to the showroom. It's they are this class act, and they built this little studio behind me. And we talk about Cletus. Look there, Tim put that American flag up there. Get out of the way. Look at that right there. Does those stars and stripes not look good right below that Champion logo? Man, oh man. So I love it. So we love coming over here. It's the studio inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. We're back in here on Thursday. Monday, we'll take it on the road to South Charleston, West Virginia, to Hardee's in South Charleston. We'll be there broadcasting live on Monday. Tuesday, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. Wednesday, Chick-fil-A. Next Thursday, right back here at Champion. Next Friday, Euclid Avenue, Food City in Bristol. So, again, out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Have a great weekend. Lots of great football tonight. Weather's going to be perfect for tonight and for tomorrow's action across college football tomorrow and high school football tonight. So until we greet you Monday from, again, Hardee's in South Charleston. Also next week, don't forget a big bonus. We're very excited. We're going to bring you the Duggar Vance Junior High football game. Again, we gave you the Duggar Crockett game a couple of weeks ago. They had, I don't know, it's 800 or 900 views, and that was awesome. And so we're going to be bringing you, again, the Duggar Vance League Championship game coming up Tuesday night from Citizens Bank Stadium in Elizabethton. And so we'll have more to say about that on Monday, but we're very excited about that as Duggar tries to finish out an undefeated regular season in the conference for Coach Burleson and Ryan Whitten and all the coaches there at Duggar. So we'll talk about that Monday. We will see you and hear from you Monday in West Virginia. Until then, have a great weekend. As always, we'll remind you, again, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. And again, we'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for giving us a watch and listen here. Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more bow ties from Mountain City to Memphis than Champion Chevrolet here in the great state of Tennessee. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. So long, everybody.